What's going on, YouTube? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the Hanna Barbera series, Space Ghost. And as you can see, this is Space Ghost here. It comes in, I'll get to the packaging real quick. It comes in this style packaging. Right here. This is Space Ghost on top, Hanna Barbera on the side here, on the right hand side, and it says Space Ghost with Blip. Here on the back we have a lot of the Hanna Barbera cartoon characters, and this is what they have so far. They have Huckleberry Hound out, the Flintstones, Hong Kong Phooey, Tom and Jerry, and Space Ghost. So if you're into Hanna Barbera and you liked them as a child like I did, the cartoons, then they have a whole bunch out. Not very well articulated, not like Space Ghost here, but they are still out. Alright, let's put that aside for now. Bring Space Ghost back in here. And I mean, me growing up when I was a kid, I loved Space Ghost. It was just great. Even before Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which I also loved that show. That show was great. But even before that, his regular superhero show, it was really good. It was really cool. I love the Space Ghost character. He's really funny. Yeah, it brought back a lot of memories of when I was a kid. When I saw this action figure, is he the best, most articulated, and well painted action figure? Absolutely not. But when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, a 6-inch Space Ghost figure! I have to get it!" Like, it just fits in so perfectly with my my collection. So, I mean, I just saw it and I was like, I had to get it. This guy usually runs at, if you find him online, he usually goes around $20 to $22 on eBay. I passed on that and I was just like, I'd rather just try to find this guy in store. And went to my local Toys R Us and found this guy for $10. So, I mean, his retail is $10. So, or I think it was $10.99, but it's still $11 is like nothing for a Space Ghost figure that's in a 6-inch form, which we've never had before. So, but there's a lot of problems with this action figure, which I'll get to. But let me show you who he comes with here. Set him back a little bit. Comes with Blip, his little sidekick here. He's pretty cool looking. He doesn't have any articulation at all. He's kind of just a statue, and he definitely has a logo on his crotch, so that's a little weird, but but he does have a little monkey tail, and he's got his little, it looks like he's like thinking about something, like, what's in this? What's in this camera? What's in there? Hello? I'm chewing my fingernail. My mom always told me to stop chewing my fingernails because they're gonna fall off. But I like chewing them anyway. Sorry. So let's bring Space Ghost in here. He can stand with Space Ghost. I actually like kind of putting him in this funky position. I think it just looks kind of funny with Blip on top of his head. So, I mean, you can stand him up. He can actually sit on his arm. Or you can just sit on the ground down here. I'll put him back there. You can't see him. He's so short you can't even see him. Look at that. There, I'll set him over there. See him a little bit, right in the back there. But let's get to Space Ghost. I'll go through his articulation now. I read about this figure actually before I found out, because this guy came out a while ago. I believe he came out sometime last year. And I did a read-up before I actually bought the figure, which I don't normally really do. I usually try to, this is why I do these reviews, is so I can figure this out for myself. But I actually did watch a couple reviews on this guy, and it usually comes very extremely loose in package. And sorry, I'm trying to get my lighting fixed. But I actually got extremely lucky. And lately I've just been getting extremely lucky with not getting loose figures that are supposed to be loose figures in package, especially with my DC Unlimiteds. And so I'll go through Articulation. His head is very stiff. Now I think it just needs to be cracked up. There it goes. It just cracked. So now his head's moving. It was doing that weird, like when I'd move it this way, it would try to go back that way. Weird poltergeist kind of thing, or exorcist thing. So... but now I just cracked it and it moves just fine. So it moves at a full, I mean, if you force it, you probably do a 360 with it, but you don't really need to turn the head all the way around. His arm is on a hinge here, on a ball jointed hinge. It does do a full 360. I'm trying to be really careful with this guy just because I don't want him to get loose on me. He does not have a bicep swivel, which really, really hurts his overall for the figure. You can swivel at the upper shoulder here. He does have a single jointed elbow and a wrist hinge, which makes perfect sense, but you got to give this guy a forearm swivel or a bicep swivel because he can't. I'll get to it in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. But he does have an ab crunch. Now this is the part that's most loose, and there's a little piece of plastic going across here, and over time that might snap. So just try to, if you buy this figure, try to keep in mind, move him by the waist and hold the waist like this. Don't move the waist by up here because it just seems very flimsy. Just be careful. But he does do a full 360 at the waist. He's got T-jointed hips just like DC Universe Classics. Goes out and back with no problem. Bicep swivel, single jointed knee, and a foot hinge here. So basically from the torso down, he has the same exact articulation as DC Universe Classics. Except he doesn't have these, DC UCs don't have these ugly little pegs right here. But other than that, sorry, I'm out of whack here. Other than that, he's not the best painted figure either with paint detailing. As you can see, his logo, the eyes are a little off. They're a little crooked. I think it's part of the sculpt. The sculpt isn't the best, really. The articulation isn't really the best. He can't do, as I was saying before, I was getting to it, he can't do a bicep swivel here, so he can't even use his blaster because he can only go like this. You can't swivel anything. So this hand is meant to like go touch his blaster, but you can't swivel anything for him to move his hand like going from this to this. So it kind of sucks. So you kind of just got to get him in like vanilla poses like this. But I mean, would I go out of my way to spend a lot of money on this figure? Absolutely not. Don't do it. But if you like Space Ghost, you want him in a 6-inch form, I guess this is the one you should get, unless you want to pay big money for a custom. Or if you're a customizer, you can probably do one yourself off a DC Universe Classics body, excuse me. But his cape, let me get to his cape. His cape looks alright. It's supposed to be cartoonesque, so it's really not supposed to be like a very detailed cape. It's pretty basic. He does have an ugly logo inside here. It looks like a bunch of numbers or something, but he doesn't have any gapping in the cape. And other than that, there's a little bit of like bleeding here from the belt. It looks a little spotty, like they didn't paint it very well. So is he the best figure? Not at all. But I got him simply because I was like, oh, Space Ghost, it's great, and he fits, perfectly in scale with DC Universe Classics. Let me just do a little size comparison here. Here is Batman here, and here's Space Ghost. So they're in pretty good, they're in pretty good scale with each other. So he can fit right into your DC Universe Classics collection, which is great. And I think he's a little bit under, maybe just like a touch under 6 inches. Now Batman here is shorter than most DC Universe Classics, the new Batman, but I think Space Ghost still fits in well. Okay, so there you are. And yeah, my overall rating for this is probably, I'm going to give this guy a 5.5 out of 10 high fives. Like I said, there's a lot of drawbacks from this figure. Even though the character looks, I mean, it looks good in box. It really does look good in box. But when you get him in hand, there's a lot of lack of articulation. I think the paint isn't the best, even though he's a very simplistic look. He's basically white with a couple different colors, black and red, except for the exception of his yellow cape. That's about it. But yeah, I mean, if you can get him for the right price, get him. And if you're a Space Ghost fan, get him, but get him for the right price. Don't spend a lot of money on him. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Space Ghost. I know I'm rambling on, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Let me get Blip back in here. Sit on my shoulders, Blip. But yeah, I'm actually going to go watch some Space Ghost Coast to Coast now. I have it recorded, so I'm going to go do that. That's what happens when I buy a figure. I got to watch a show. But yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Thanks. Bye-bye.